Hello and good afternoon to everybody. Sitting out here on a gray, cloudy day and just running through some thoughts. Mental illness is a challenge in so many ways because everybody has their opinion. Do this, do that. This will make it better. This will heal it. You get some really orthodox or fundamentalist religions that, for lack of a better term, will pray the gay away. I'm sorry, but PTSD isn't healed by just praying. And I am all about prayer. I firmly believe in the power of prayer. I've seen it work in my life. I've seen the functionality. I have felt its powers. But I also know that these bodies that God designed and created for us are very fine-tuned machines, and the slightest disturbance in them can send everything cascading into a failure. And he allows this because it enables testing. It enables us to grow, to see how we will handle a body that doesn't function properly. As one that struggles with several mental health conditions and several physical conditions, it can be very overwhelming and it can be very noisy. But the question simply becomes, even through all the noise and the darkness, can I still turn to my God and count on my Savior to help me through these times? I know that my body will never be healed in this life. Through the rest of mortality, I will struggle. And as frustrating, as disappointing, upsetting as that is, I've learned that instead of blaming God and threatening or bargaining and doing all the, I guess you might even call it the stages of grief, I finally have learned to accept who and what I am. I understand that I have a mind that has been rewired from trauma, and one that struggles, with the wiring of ADHD and bipolar, on top of physical conditions like chronic fatigue syndrome and seizure disorder and other physical conditions that have left me in a very limited capacity. And it's really hard to accept. During high school, I was, a competitive athlete. Even up until a few years ago, I was a competitive martial artist. I joined the Marine Corps. Didn't make it through basic because of the mistakes of a dentist that left me with what amounts to a broken jaw. But I know that I'm going to struggle the rest of my life. And I know that whether the Savior returns to reign or death claims me, I will welcome both with open arms and a smile on my face. Because I know that at that point, the suffering will end. But it's not my choice on which of those destinies lie before me. That is the choice of God and of my Savior, Jesus Christ. If He returns and sees fit to sustain my life until He can physically put His hands on me and heal me, right. I won't turn it down, turn it away. And whether it's tomorrow or 20 years from now, I will suffer looking to Him, because that's all I can do. But if I die in a car accident on the way home today, it doesn't matter to me. Death isn't what scares me. I know what comes after this. I know where I'm going, and I know to whom I belong. But ending my own life, as much as I don't fear death, as much as I would welcome it, that's not my call to make. Death is the domain of God, and those who step into God's domain, there are consequences to that. And that judgment is left strictly to God. I don't judge those who take their own lives or those who have had to take a life. That's not for me to decide. And I'm glad, because I wouldn't want that responsibility to judge those who have had minds that are broken and bodies so broken that the only relief they can find is through death. I understand where they're from, where they come from, but for me, it's prayer, it's looking to my Savior and pushing forward in that. And it can be hard. Like today, I've been so angry and so depressed at the world. Fighting an ulcer, throwing up blood is never fun. But instead of blaming God or being angry with God, it has forced me into prayer, into long conversations while working, just turning off the music, turning off the noise, and just talking to my Savior, talking to my God, and knowing that both of them are on my side, and trying to feel that peace that only they can bring. These health problems have shaped me, have changed me. And now I understand more of why they allow suffering. Suffering can be exalting. When I was younger and in peak health and running around doing all the stuff that I did, I rarely prayed, I rarely thought of God. But now, as I suffer, all I can do is think of God. So it has forced me forced me to really count on and rely on my Savior, to rely on the power of heaven. And as hard as it is, I am grateful to my Father that He has opened my eyes to these lessons that He has chosen to teach me, that He hasn't let go of me, that He knows how to communicate with me and what would work on me to bring me back to Him. So, my friends, instead of asking, why do I suffer, ask God, what do you want me to learn from this? Go to your knees in prayer and let the Lord comfort you and teach you. And then teach you how to work within the bounds that have been set upon you now. We're never going to function at a peak capacity again. We're never going to function like those who don't suffer. And that's okay. God doesn't expect us to run faster than we have strength. So, my friends, love ya. Keep up the struggle. You're not alone. So, we'll talk to you later.